On the night of July 24, the Russian Aerospace Forces, together with missile forces, launched another massive missile strike on the territory of Ukraine. During this missile strike, dozens of explosions were recorded in the southern, central, and northern parts of Ukraine. It is reported that during this missile strike, the armed forces of the Russian Federation managed to inflict significant damage to the Ukrainian Army and NATO forces. However, before moving on to the main topic of this video, I would first like to discuss the significant changes on the battlefield with you. So, a few hours ago, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially announced the liberation of the strategically important settlement of Ivano-Darivka, in the Seversk direction of the front. Commenting on the transition of this urban-type village under the control of the Russian army, war correspondents reported that units of the armed forces of Ukraine left this settlement as a result of active offensive actions by fighters of the group of troops under the designation South. It is reported that due to the transition of the settlement of Ivano-Darivka under the Russian army's control, the positions of Russian troops in the Seversk direction of the front have significantly improved. As of July 25, 2024, Russian troops have significantly advanced towards the city of Seversk, from both the southern and eastern directions. It is reported that if the pace of the Russian army's offensive does not change, then very soon the battles for the strategically important city of Seversk may begin. In Chasiv Yar direction of the front, after Russian troops took control of 5 square kilometers of territory between the settlements of Grigorovka, Kalinovka, and Bogdanovka, the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Grigorovka began to be subjected to constant artillery strikes by Russian forces. The official representative of the 105th Regiment of the People's Militia of the Donetsk People's Republic said that Russian troops had managed to significantly advance towards the settlement of Grigorovka, as a result of which, the continued presence of units of the armed forces of Ukraine in this village was threatened. Numerous war correspondents also stated that Russian troops are intensifying attacks on the Ukrainian army's positions in Grigorovka. This fact was also confirmed by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. According to the Ukrainian military, Russian troops have significantly increased the number of attacks near the village of Grigorovka. Thus, it can be stated that the Russian High Military Command is preparing a new offensive on Chasiv Yar, with wider coverage from the north. Simultaneously with this, the paratroopers of the 98th Division of the Russian Armed Forces began to actively attack the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the area of the Seversky Donetsk-Donbass water channel. Moreover, war correspondents confirmed that the Russian paratroopers even managed to cross this water channel, near the village of Kalinovka. This became possible because the units of the armed forces of Ukraine were completely dislodged from the eastern part of this village. In addition, war correspondents also confirmed that the 200th Brigade and the Volunteer Corps of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation also managed to force the Seversky Donetsk-Donbass water channel in 2 places at once, and gain a foothold in new positions. However, unfortunately, the war correspondents did not provide other details of these successes of the Russian troops. In general, it must be recognized that recently, war correspondents began to receive information from Chasiv Yar direction in small quantities. This is mainly due to the fact that Russian and Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles have almost completely stopped publishing footage, according to which war correspondents and military experts created a detailed map of the fighting, and marked the geolocation of the combat contact line. The situation of the armed forces of Ukraine in Chasiv Yar is also aggravated by the battle for the city of Toretsk. The fact is that due to the rapid advance of Russian troops in New York and east of Toretsk, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ukraine, General Sersky, is constantly forced to send combat-ready units from Chasiv Yar to the Toretsk direction. However, these actions of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine did not help to stabilize the situation in the Toretsk direction of the front. Everything that is happening indicates that the defense of the Ukrainian army in the Toretsk direction of the front is crumbling, and is about to finally collapse. And this fact negatively affects the morale of Ukrainian soldiers in Chasiv Yar. Many Russian military experts are confident that Russian troops will first liberate Toretsk, and then focus on liberating Chasiv Yar. In addition, you should understand that despite the powerful fortifications on the outskirts of Chasiv Yar, the city is very inconvenient for street fighting. Thus, as soon as the Russian troops enter Chasiv Yar, the units of the armed forces of Ukraine will simply be forced to flee to neighboring Konstantinovka. Meanwhile, on the night of July 24, Russia launched another massive missile attack on the territory of Ukraine. This time, the Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, Odessa, Poltava, Kyiv, and Nikolaev regions were subjected to missile attacks. So, in the Poltava and Dnipropetrovsk regions, Russian missiles once again hit military airfields and military industry facilities. In the Kyiv region, 50 kilometers southwest of the city of Kyiv, Russian missiles hit and destroyed 2 radar stations for Western air defense systems. In the Kharkiv region, near Kupiansk, Russian kamikaze drones destroyed a column of armored vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine. In the Nikolaev region, in the city of Voznesensk, Russian missiles and kamikaze drones hit a military airfield, southwest of the city. It is reported that as a result of this missile strike, 2 MiG-29 fighter jets were destroyed. In the Odessa region, in the city of IZMAIL, Russian ballistic missiles struck and destroyed 2 classified NATO facilities. It is reported that at the time of the missile strike, military cargo from NATO countries was being unloaded at these facilities. A source in the Russian military department claims that as a result of this missile attack, about 10 active-duty NATO soldiers, tens of thousands of artillery shells, 20 self-propelled guns, 8 infantry fighting vehicles, and 10 armored vehicles were destroyed. In general, experts note that the quality and efficiency of Russian intelligence have doubled. Western military experts are still wondering how Russian intelligence manages to regularly detect such classified NATO facilities, several thousand kilometers from the combat contact line.